Now you guys can hear me. Hi, guys. Sorry, we had a technical difficulty there. Thank you for letting me know, John B. He is a loyal live chat member. I was just saying, what's up, Jiu-Jitsu nerds? Sorry that this live chat is happening at 1:30 p.m. today. I've decided, though, that afternoon is a better time. Thank you guys for the patience. See, if I would have a producer here with me, they would have told me or unmuted my mic. But yeah, so we're going to be building out this whole channel in 2025. I'm in the process of getting an editor and a producer, and the magic time will probably be sometime around this time. Yes, don't forget to hit the like button. Guys, I thought we were going to have some juicy stuff to talk about because Craig Jones went on the Ariel Helwani MMA Hour episode, and I just told you guys when I was off on mute, I was like, dude, Ariel Helwani is a tank. Like, he does his show multiple times a week and just talks to guest after guest for multiple hours at a time. That is some stamina for sure. Thank you about the dope shirt. Now, if you guys don't have Instagram, I'm going to show you guys Craig's latest trolling and slash teasing that he was going to be announcing something huge at the Ariel Helwani's MMA Hour. But did we get what we wanted to hear?
Massive fucking announcement coming live, 1:30 p.m. Central on the Ariel Helwani show. I won't give away too much now, but obviously it might have to do
Where did he get all that gear?
with the stupid outfit I'm wearing. Or maybe it's just fucking laundry day. It's tough out here in Colombia.
I swear, as soon as he like uploaded that to Instagram, he like threw away his phone and then was just like, hee, I have no actual announcement. Did anyone watch the Ariel Helwani MMA Hour with Craig as part of it? There was plenty of other juicy information in that live interview. Some of them being of potential matchups. I love how Ariel talks about jujitsu because he'll be the first to admit that he's not the type to follow the jujitsu drama on a daily basis, but like he thinks the drama is interesting. He watched parts of CJI, and then he was doing his own personal matchmaking. And I feel like it's interesting to hear what people who are more invested in MMA or other sports think about interesting jujitsu matches. So his take was, what about a Brendan Schaub versus Nate Diaz match? What do you guys think about a Brendan Schaub versus Nate Diaz match? I need to get Bo Hachinya Depot in there because we know how much he loves Brendan Schaub. And then another matchmaking fantasy he was saying was that he wants to see Demetrius Johnson. Craig was like, he only does the gi. When I interviewed DJ as well, he also said that he's just such a gi guy. And then he said, against Gordon Ryan. So like Ariel is just throwing out the most random names, but I love it because it's very interesting to see an outsider of the jiu-jitsu community's take. Craig took a bump and got excited, and then the Saudis told him to hold off before saying anything. Hey, you never know. I mean, I was getting ready to go into Pilates class and I saw that and I texted him, I'm like, bro, I'm about to go into Pilates class. You're not about to break news, are you? He's like, I won't even say what he said, but I knew that there wasn't going to be any kind of crazy announcement. Nobody wants to see Brendan Schaub fight or grapple anyone. He's been on the couch for years. Not exciting. Guys, did you know that my very first job in MMA media was working with Morning Combat for one, but also a little bit with Below the Belt, Brendan Schaub's old show. Those are where my roots were laid in MMA. But Morning Combat is definitely my fave. The former, remember when in Morning Combat when Ariel and Luke were enemies? Now they're good. That was like the Gordon Ryan versus Craig Jones of MMA media. Okay, anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts on Craig Jones joining the MMA Hour. I thought he delivered everything that he needed to about the current news, Mo stepping down, and all that very, very well. And that was just a pleasant surprise for your Monday morning. Like, no crazy breaking news. Oh, other than the fact that he mentioned Mo having beef with him so much so that more Mo wants to end it with a boxing match. And Craig thought it was extra enticing because it would be in the karate pit. And it just is funny, like two grown men sorting things out. No, I've never met Ariel in person. When I auditioned for the WWE in Las Vegas in 2021, he was at the audition. So if any of you guys are pro wrestling fans and you're fans of Nikita Lyons, I'm blanking on Jakara, like that group of WWE NXT wrestlers, they were all in my group. I was so overly dramatic when I didn't get it. I was like, no, now I'm never going to be a WWE star. Okay, guys, and other breaking news other than Craig Jones joining the MMA Hour, we had the AIGA qualifiers this past week. That was super exciting. I did not sit on my couch watching jiu-jitsu all weekend though, guys. I went to see a movie, a spooky movie, and then what did I do on Sunday? And then I just like worked out and did like a bunch of laundry. How was your guys' weekend? Did you watch anything particularly cool? I know there was UFC fights. I need to hire someone that is also just like a diehard MMA fan that will like talk some MMA stuff with me. Speaking of, this Thursday, I'll be going live with Shaquille. He has Shaq MMA, and we're going to be talking about everything about the UFC pay-per-view event coming up. So I'm excited for that. AIGA Trials was great. Yeah, I saw some of the highlights from 10th Planet. Ben Eddy, man, he got that Hindulatine. He was a star for sure, and he was on PGF season 6, showcasing his skill there. But it's so awesome to see him do it on this stage. And Checkmat was the team that punched their ticket to the 2025 AIGA Champions League final, going undefeated in 3 duels at the AIGA US qualifier in Long Beach, California this past weekend. It was streaming, I think, for free on YouTube. And then the second day was on Flow Grappling. So Checkmat is now the third of 4 teams to win a 2024 AIGA Champions League qualifier, which puts the team in position to compete for a $500,000 grand prize in Kazakhstan in 2025. I wonder why they keep advertising on the graphics $1 million. I'm wondering, is it how do they split it up to get it $1 million? Team Eurotrash won the European qualifier in Turkey in the winter, and Team Kasai won the South American qualifier in Brazil in the spring. AIGA will hold one more qualifier in 2024 in Kazakhstan, the Asia qualifiers. Yeah, and I also saw that Ryan Aiken was a top performer as well. I have an interview scheduled with him tomorrow. Guys, there's going to be a ton of PGF season 7 roster interviews coming out. So make sure that you pay attention to that playlist, subscribe, hit the like button. PGF season 7 is really, really going to push the envelope. And I'm excited for this cast of characters to showcase what they can do. I think my favorite thing about PGF is it has athletes that are obviously stars like Ben Eddy and Ryan Aiken, but then they also have guys who are hungry, either purple belts, trying to make their name. Cam Hurd makes his return, Travis Thomas, a PGF vet again. So that's all very, very exciting stuff. And it seems like a lot of the PGF roster was staying warm at AIGA this past weekend. I didn't want to steal any of their highlights and show them today because I don't want that to cause problems, but they showed out and had a good performance. For Checkmat, though, the top performer was Francisco Lowe. He had 3 submissions, securing an armbar win over Charles Riles and Bobby Winther, and an ink lock win over Hene Souza of the finishers. So yeah, definitely a very, very exciting weekend in and then I was watching the end. First of all, the super fights were really fun. We don't have time to talk about them today. The girls were beasts, but they ended it saying that they were going to invite a whole nother team. So even though 10th Planet didn't win, I believe that they were invited as well. PFL also on the weekend. Yes, my dad sent me a picture of the pay-per-view, and I was like, I don't care. I don't watch PFL. But that's just because I'm so invested in jiu-jitsu stuff. I can really only dedicate my MMA time to other promotions that either pay my bills or that I'm interested in. Ngannou versus Ferreira. Ngannou smashed on the first round. Nice. I love that for Ngannou. He was, I gave him a hug once, and it was the best hug ever because he's just so big. And I'm just like, you're so cool and awesome. That was in 2021 when Morning Combat won the World MMA Awards. I think PGF this season is a lot more lopsided with the trials winners versus invites. And then definitely agree to the Ngannou comment. So PGF this season, I think my favorite matchup that we're going to have on the Friday, so November 8th, that is playoff day, but also the female fight, the championship belt is on the line with Kaya Jackson representing 10th Planet Decatur. She is going to be taking on Vanessa Demopoulos. A lot of you guys might know her as Lil Monster Demo, the girl who went viral for jumping into the arms of Joe Rogan, getting that 50K bonus for submission of the night. She is a firecracker. She is aggressive. I've been getting some roles with her, and she's like the best training partner, but like she is so good and so flexible. Every time I'm in her guard, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. Vanessa Demopoulos is going to be a very, very exciting matchup for Kaya Jackson. Kaya, she is aggressive as well. I talked to Travis Thomas this past weekend and I said, do you think that this is Kaya Jackson's toughest test? And he goes, well, I train with Kaya every day. I think this might be Vanessa's toughest test. I mean, Kaya is the champion going into this match. So I'm interested to see if there was like better lines, like how those odds would be going. But Vanessa Demopoulos, very experienced, an LFA champ turned UFC fighter with some amazing submissions that you guys can go watch her reel of. And also foreshadowing like the potential of other super fights or maybe a female bracket in PGF in the PGF season eventually. I know the female bracket for CJI is such a big push that people are pushing for. So I think it would be very interesting to see a PGF with females, like what teams could we see make? What is the most exciting division? So I just think it's so great that we're going to get a super fight that will bring the action, that will prove that they need their own division as well. And then coming up this week, we have interviews dropping with Ryan Aitken, Dante Leon, because he's going to be on a Polaris, and then Kamoy Anderson coming out. And I also have Fedor Nikolov coming out very soon. And also, we can't forget about the lead scorer of PGF Season 6, Davis Asari. I am so happy that I had such a wonderful time talking to him recently because he, like when I met him in PGF Season 6, I'm just seeing him in competition mode and he's just like focused, ready to go. So there isn't like so much time for really getting to know a person. And he was the leading scorer. I talked to him recently and I just saw like a completely different side of his personality. Like when he had his most recent Polaris event, he was literally on the floor lying down giving his interview because he was so tired. And I asked him about that situation and he basically just breaks it down to he might have gone on a little bit too much of a bender when he was in a foreign land and having a good time. I was like, Davis, I didn't expect this from you, but okay. So yeah, he seems like a really, really funny guy. I can't wait to see more of the personalities come out in PGF Season 7. I've been asking all of the fighters from last season who are making their return. So there's like Elijah Carlton, Cam Hurd, who else? Nathan Haddad, a lot of people coming back. And I just joked to them about how they're going to handle any group chat drama this year. Because if you guys watched the Legends versus Legacies PGF docu-series, if you will, by Conscious Keelan, there was some exposure of the group chat last year, and they were really getting into it. I want to see Kaya versus Taylor from B Team. Taylor Malden, that would definitely be very interesting. I know Ali Wolski's also at B Team as well. Kaya against anyone is very, very fun. I'm curious. I think she's going to be at the Medusa event in December. I could be wrong. I need to look at that full lineup, and we're going to have a whole nother live chat to cover all that because they have a bracket for the women, and it's going to be huge in Mexico. So fun. But yeah, let me go back to, okay. So guys, not only for PGF Season 7 does a team walk away with 100K plus the playoffs, which is an extra 20K, the winning team also gets the opportunity for stem cells. And for a long time, stem cells have been rumored that you have to get them in Tijuana. And I think CPI stem cells is a very popular stem cell treatment center. And that used to be the theory of where he had to go. But now with New Hope Regeneration, a partner of PGF, they are making it available inside the States. And Team X Marshall, they are already reaping the benefits of their first stem cell appointment that they went through. And a lot of them have been seeing a lot of good results, which is so exciting. I feel like the longevity of grapplers, especially, and fighters, but especially grappling, is going to be so long. And that kind of makes me excited because I'm 26, I'm not young, but maybe I could like continue competing until I'm in my 40s. I don't know, because now you don't have to worry about being injured and all that. You have stem cells, just get them fixed. But they are kind of expensive unless you win them at a tournament. So here is Ben Eddy, the guy who had an amazing performance at AIGA recently.
Injuries, if they come up, to make it to the top is to learn how to not get injured, how to like be able to train safely and not be injured. The number one thing I've seen of like what decides whether or not you're going to make it or not amongst my friends and all the different people who are trying to make it was who didn't get injured. You know, all of them got taken out because of some injury at some point that ended up becoming too much for them. It wasn't because they didn't have the talent or they didn't have the dedication or the coach. It was because their shoulder injury got to be too much or their knee injury. Or
so the name of the game is to stay in the game, and New Hope Regeneration is making that possible. PGF is a gauntlet. I remember someone in the last live chat mentioned something like PGF might have to shorten their season or might have to do something for the amount of action that they're getting. But I've talked to most of the athletes at this point, and they all say that it's basically the perfect amount, because when they go to training every day or 4 days a week, they get, 3 hard rolls in. I think a lot of people who are competitors probably approach training from a mindset of like, they go intense for competitive reasons versus just doing like a bunch of rounds and kind of holding back. I don't know. I think there's a difference between the way hobbyists and competitors do it. So I think people who come in with a competitive background, they see PGF as like the perfect amount of work. I mean, yes, it's still tough. You had some veterans last year say that it was one of the toughest tournaments they've ever done, but it really pushes you and it really tests where you're at. I spoke to Stuart Cooper, who you can also catch my interview with. He is the best. And he's going to be 40 this year. So he's very excited for the option or the opportunity to potentially get the stem cells. And he actually already had stem cells as well. So Stuart Cooper, he's the best. He is Jiu-Jitsu's favorite documentarian. And finally, I'm just going to leave you guys with a clip of Davis Asare.
The reason why I'm able or willing to do this 205 thing, even though I'm probably going to be like 30, 40 pounds way less than people, is actually because I'm actually going to go in there and still be the one who scores the most points. Like, that's really my goal. I'm going to keep the momentum going. And I'm really excited to try to put on a statement this time. So yeah, I'm looking forward for it.
Confidence is key. Will Davis Asare be the lead scorer of PGF Season 7? You guys are going to have to find out November 3 to 8th. I'm also super excited to see how the teams kind of break down. I feel like a lot was learned last season with the highest bidder being Andy Varela, but then PJ Barch also being just 100 points behind. I think people will be smarter with the way they blow their money. And also I think changing it from the draft this time is going to be random. So there's going to be a ton more strategy coming in. So I'm super excited. And that will be streaming live on UFC Fight Pass. And let me know what else we have to talk about. I saw a lot of people were upset over the fact that Kaynan Duarche's next opponent is going to be Roberto Jimenez. I know Nicky Rod was mentioning after his UFC Fight Pass 8 invitational event and win against Michael Pixley. I know he said that he would love to face Kaynan Duarche. And then I think a few days later, Flow Grappling announces that it's going to be Roberto Jimenez. Everyone was kind of in the comments just like, that is the worst mismatch ever. The right match to make was Nicky Rod, all that. But I don't know. I thought it was going to be a a fun and interesting match. So let me know your guys' thoughts on that WNO card coming up. And if you're interested at all to continue the coverage of AIGA. And then, of course, PGF Season 7, anything that you guys are most excited about, make sure you leave it in the comments. I will be your sideline reporter for that. And we're also going to get a couple interviews with people involved, especially at BMAC coming up soon. And I think Matt Scott's going to come on the show again, where we're going to talk about all things jiu-jitsu. So until next time, jiu-jitsu nerds, I will see you later.